Yo, what's up, y'all? Jameer Redemption here. Welcome to the RBMDRT channel if this is your first time. Like and subscribe. Today, I'm going to be doing an album review for one of my favorite hip-hop artists, Dee-1. And being that this is the RBMDRT channel, repairing broken men by doing righteous things, I'm happy that I'm doing a review of his wonderful work of art, Finding Balance, because his slogan is to be real, to be righteous, and to be relevant. So, being that RBM DRT got righteous in the acronym, it's only appropriate that I do this review with Dee-1. This morning, before I went to work, I was looking on my YouTube Music, which I use YouTube Music to stream music mostly. So this morning, before I went to work, I was like, what am I going to listen to today? And I saw that Dee-1 had released a new album. So I downloaded it and I started listening to it. It was the first thing I listened to this morning. And I was like, wow. It was a breath of fresh air because throughout this year, 2022 so far, it's February. So it's like I've heard several releases thus far, but upon pressing play on this album, I was excited because I was like, man, Dee-1 coming. He bringing what we need to hear for this year. So I listened to it like a few songs in. Then I started listening to other things throughout my day. But then I went back to it towards the mid part of my day. And it was after the first full listen in entirety, I was like, man, I gotta do a review to this video. This is just what I'm, needing to do with my channel, being that I'm trying to grow my channel and do different, type of activity on my channel. And being that I've been listening to Dee-1 since he came out. And it's weird because he came out in 2009. And in September of 2009, I was 24 years old, I believe. And I know in September of 2009, I had got baptized for the second time in my life, second or third time to be real. And I had just got reestablished in the Christian faith at that time. So around that time, I was an aspiring rapper, and I was going back to church, and I was, trying to find music that would edify my Christian faith. And I stumbled upon David versus Goliath. It was his debut project. So Dee-1 and I have a very strong musical relationship. We never met each other. I don't think we ever, engaged on social media. I think we may have earlier in his career. I think he liked a post of mine, to be real. I ain't clout chasing when I say this either. But anyway, since then, I don't like to use the term backslid. I like to say if you want to say backslid, okay. Since that time I've backslid from the Christian fellowship, but I've ran towards a higher relationship with the Most High, if you get what I'm saying. And one thing I like about Dee-1 is he always tells people that he's a Christian rapper, not a gospel rapper. Throughout his career, he's released several projects that can be deemed a gospel rap album, but his storytelling ability, his lyrics, his content, his beats, his persona, it speaks a man of faith, but it doesn't speak dogma or, you know, religious fanatic. He's just a man who's living out his purpose and who just so happens to, you know, proclaim his faith. All right. That being said, I'm gonna get into this album review, man. Finding Balance was released February 10th, 2022. It's a 16-track album. It's 51 minutes long, almost an hour long, and it was released from the Mission Vision Music imprint. So, you know, we got 16 tracks here, a solid length album, and every track on this album hits. It hits appropriately. We got one track that's an intro. The beginning track is an intro, but that even hits. Even though he's not rapping on it, he's just talking. He starts off the album on a good note with the intro. The intro is smooth. It comes on with a mellow type beat, and he starts talking. It kind of could have been an outro, but I listened to this album on repeat before I did this review. So upon listening to it on repeat, I appreciate the intro more, you know, because even though it could have been an outro, it welcomes the album. It introduces the album in a perfect way. In the intro, he talks about the losses he has taken and how those losses has turned into wins. You know, he talks about how he feels happy about completing the album, and you know, he introduces all the listeners into a wonderful journey, which this album I found that this album is. Okay, track number 2, Shine On, man. It's a good start to the album. It's like the calm before the storm, because this album is truly a wonderful ride. You could tell he wrote this song last year because he talks about how he felt right after DMX died. And I've watched several of his interviews, and he talks about how he really admired DMX as an artist. And, you know, being that he's a Christian man, and DMX being a Christian himself, I'm pretty sure that all hip-hop rap artists who are Christian, they love DMX for his ability to express his faith, his prayers, and his relationship with the Most High through his songs and through his life. On Shine On, he talks about feeling like Tupac and Nipsey's hustle soul is, you know, living through him, man, through his music, through his craft. And he drops a line in this song that I really like. He said, "A spirit full of joy means a heart full of pain." And I felt that, because it's like going through life, in order for you to be a star that shines, you know, it's sometimes it's like the energy that creates your light is an energy that's full of the pains and the trials and tribulations of life. And he just talks about keep on growing, you know what I mean? And to shine on. And another reason why this is a good first song on the album because he has a feature from the game. And in the track listing of the album, the game is not mentioned in the feature. And I'm my opinion, my theory is that he didn't want to be like, I got the game on my album, so you should listen to my album. No, but I I've been following D1 for the shoot. What it is, 13 years now, man. And I know he's a humble guy. So my theory is he left that off not to like overshadow or just really just to be humble, man. Cause he's a big game fan. He's a fan of hip hop. And it's one of Game's more introspective verses. You know what I mean? And in his verse, he claims that he didn't even write the verse. He said all he needed was a blunt and some Hennessy to recite his verse. And on the last verse of the song, D1 talks about how he appreciate what God is doing in his life by having someone of hip hop stature like the Game on his album. Track 3, Taking a Chance on Me. This song right here is one of those songs that you listen to and you get motivated by. You know, you you feel like those goals that you may have been procrastinating on, uh, the voice of God that you've heard, that you feel that you haven't been stepping out on faith on, or you feel that you've been procrastinating on your purpose. This song right here feels like it motivates you to take a chance on yourself. And in the lyrics he talks about, being born wild and free. Stepping out on faith to see if it's really meant to be. Leaving those streets that you've grown to know. Taking big risks. He talks about how his teachers said he wouldn't be nothing when he was a kid in school. And when I heard that line, I was reminded about Malcolm X. Because when Malcolm X was a little boy, he wanted to be a lawyer. And his teachers told him that because he was a Negro boy, he couldn't grow up and be a lawyer. You see what I'm saying? And even though he never became an attorney, Malcolm X did things in his life that those teachers that told him otherwise, they bit every single one of those words. So like, because he took a chance on himself, the world knows D1's music. His music is heard globally. So taking a chance on me is just a motivational song. He talks about how he remembers getting 3 hours of sleep and how that wasn't healthy, and how he got $40,000 a year when he was a teacher, and that didn't mean wealthy. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he took a chance on himself, and now not only is he still a teacher, even though he's not in the classroom, he's inspiring young children everywhere with his art form and teaching them that you don't have to compromise your faith and your beliefs to express yourself and to, generate a following in his life. You don't have to compromise your belief for fame. So I really like track number 3. Track 4, Not Afraid, featuring Joe Scott and Lady V. This song is a very important song on the album, because after track 2 and 3, which were slow melodic songs, track 4 starts to get a little bit more up tempo, and it got that young energy, that teenage energy. And recently I watched an interview of Dee-1, and he was talking about how he remembers when he was a teacher, like 13, 14 years ago in Baton Rouge, that Fredo Bang and G Money were his students while they were in middle school. R.I.P. G Money. But anyway, he also talks about how the rapper Joe Scott, who he features on this song, was looking up to him back then. And he's from Baton Rouge too. I don't think Joe Scott was his student though, but Joe Scott is featured on this song. He got Lady V. I'm not familiar with her career, but on this song, I hear that church alto vibe from her, and it's a very wonderful vibe. And Joe Scott, he got, you could tell he from Baton Rouge, cause his flow is similar to Fredo Bang or G Money or NBA YoungBoy. So it's like D1 is embracing the little homies, but he got Joe's. I'm not familiar with Joe Scott's other work, but on here he's rapping like D1 style. Like there's no cursing, because even like when the game did his verse on track 2, the game didn't curse. So the whole album is no cursing. But this Joe Scott kid, he got a bright future ahead. Joe Scott sounds real good spitting these bars in a clean verse. As I could tell, he was holding back. You could tell he come from the streets, but he even talks about biblical things in his verse and spiritual things, and rides the beat and compliments D1 and Lady V on this song. So track 4, Not Afraid, is a very strong track on this album. This when the album start turning up a little bit. Okay, track 5, My Brothers, featuring 1K Few and Aha Gazelle. Now, this track right here is another song where he embraces the younger culture, because the 1K Few dude sounds like ESTG, and the Aha Gazelle dude sounds like Lil Durk. But just like with the Joe Scott feature, even though they sound like street rappers, they still coming with the clean verse. And they even use lines like jump in that water and end up like Jonah. You know what I mean? There goes that biblical reference of Jonah getting swallowed by the big fish. The beat is banging on this song. He got a hard D1 comes with a hard flow, man. It's like picture, this song is like a hood dude leaving a funeral. This is what he would play leaving a funeral after his homie got murdered or something. And it's like, I'm not glorifying that type of instant experience, but I'm saying that type of energy is like man, I'm tired of all the stuff in the streets. I just left church. I'm about to try to live my life. I done lost a lot, and I'm trying to make it brand new. And I'm doing it for my brothers. That's why the song is called My Brothers. Because no matter if you a square dude who grew up in the hood, or a stone cold street dude who grew up in the hood, you still got a place in your heart for your family, and a place in your heart for your creator. So no matter what walk of life you from in the hood, we all brothers. So this song is very important on this album, and it comes right on time. Track 6, man, Against Us, featuring Big Crit and Lupe Fiasco. Now this song is an old song. It's a recycled song, if you will, because this song came out like 5 years ago, but I think Crit used it on one of his mixtapes. Lupe may have used it on one of his mixtapes, but I don't think D1 has used it on none of his projects yet, if I'm not mistaken. So even though it's a recycled track, it fits perfectly in this album, man. And Lupe, Big Crit, D1, all of these guys are rap artists who got hard lyrics, who got songs about various topics, but they all always pay homage and give credit to their creator. See, that's one reason why rappers like them are very important in hip hop culture. Cause it's one thing to go on stage and say, "I want to thank God," when you get a reward for best rap album, but your whole album was talking about nothing to do with God. These guys, even though they may have songs about other things, other subject matter, they all, you know, talk about their spirituality. And even though Lupe isn't a Christian, he's Islamic faith. Big Crit and D1 are Christians. So it's good to see this blend of brotherhood between the Islamic faith and the Christian faith. And I mean, that's a global issue. That's a global relationship that needs mending. So anytime you can get uh, Islam and Judaism in the same breath, it's a wonderful thing. So the number 6, Against Us, is a very powerful track, man. And as usual, when Crit, Lupe, D1, all three of them on the track, man, that's amazing. Track number 7, Authentic. I really like this track. Because like I said, now after the album start really getting to the thick of it, he come with this track, Authentic. And you know, D1 from New Orleans. It's all in his accent. You know what I mean? He always reps Louisiana. He always reps New Orleans, where he from. So he got the New Orleans bounce type vibe with this, you know what I mean? And he got that Manny Fresh at a second line down Canal Street, you know, Mardi Gras type thing, the gumbo. He got the gumbo right here. And he stays true to his roots right here, man. I mean, I guess that's why the name of the song called Authentic. Because he's just being authentic. He's being himself on this track. And he just telling you where he from. And he representing New Orleans the right way. Track number 8, Happy and Humble Freestyle. You know, right here we got another hard beat. You know, D1 doing what he doing. Flexing his lyrical expertise. His nice low flow. You know what I mean? Spitting bars like, you know, he country. He could catch a fly with his bare hands. You know what I mean? Make a sandwich with spicy mustard and lunch meat with it. You know what I mean? He just staying true to his New Orleans roots on this track. Happy and Humble Freestyle, man. And the title of this song, that's another thing I want to say about this album. Happy and Humble. It's just like the titles of the songs, man. They positive affirmations. You know what I mean? On this song, he talking about having good karma. He's talking about having a good woman in his life. He's talking about how his life is on the positive path, and you know what I mean. The whole album is just full of positive words. And I was telling a friend of mine last year when COVID was, you know, intense. I was, man, like, the music is the vaccine, man. I was just kicking it like that. I was like, man, but the thing is, you gotta fill your mind up with positive words, man. You know what I mean? So like, if you ain't getting the right affirmations, man, You know what I mean? You ain't getting the vaccine. So happy and humble are two important words, man. So happy and humble freestyle track 8, man. D1 coming with it. Yeah, man. Here we go with track 9, man. J50 and Wheezy part 2. Wow, man. It's been 10 years, man, since he went viral with that J50 and Wheezy song. You know, he had a Jay-Z lookalike, a Lil Wayne lookalike, and a 50 lookalike in the video, and he was, chastising them as a teacher, and he was just telling them how they needed to improve their persona and how they need to inspire the next generation in a better way. But on J50 and Wheezy Part 2, after years of maturing, after years of life experiences, he's looking at J50 and Wheezy as men who've evolved. So like instead of just chastising them on this song, he mildly chastises them, but uh he gives them their flowers. Right now is the time of giving brothers their flowers, man. So he salutes those brothers as he should, because like he says in the song, man, Jay has came such a long way. He's grown so much as a hip hop icon. 50 has grown so much. Wheezy has grown so much, and D1 and Wayne have a very tight uh eye to eye thing, because they're both from New Orleans, but they're both from two different sides of the tracks, so to speak. So when it comes to Wayne, he talks about how he's like, man, I knew you, like he's like father, like son, and I ain't talking about Birdman. He's talking about how Wayne is a child of the Most High. So it's like, man, 10 years after he did the original one, as he's grown as a man, he's giving a salute to J50 and Wheezy, and crowning them, and fixing their crowns, man. Cause all us as kings moving through this life, man, we fall, but we get up. You know? Wonderful track. Track number 10, man. I implore you to go. If you don't listen to any other song on this album, and you are African American, go listen to Residual, because he gets into his richest man in Babylon, his Think and Grow Rich, his financial freedom, his generational wealth bag on this song. He's talking about how most of us in the African American community weren't taught financial literacy. So it's like, now that he's an adult and he's experienced all this, money and fame, and although he's obtained those things, he's making his money work for him. You know what I mean? The typical man exchanges time for money. But the money minded man makes his money work for him. And I'm going to leave that at there. I'm going to leave that right there. So go ahead and listen to that song Residual, and increase your bankroll. You feel me? Strong track number 10, Residual. Yeah. This track 11 is my weakest song on the album. I like it, but it's called Drip. It's called Drip. And it's talking about drip. It's using the cliche popular term right now, drip. It's a nice song. You know what I mean? And he does tweak it to where it's not cliche, but just the fact that the name of the song is Drip, I'm getting country Wayne vibes from the title. Drip. But anyway, it's a nice little track, but personally to me, This is my weakest song on the album. I like it, but it ain't my go-to song. Track number 12, man. Freedom. I really love this song, man. D1 uh gives a lot of shine to his comrade, his friend, his Woody, how they say in New Orleans, Mac, man, McKinley Phelps. This I like this song for more reasons than one. It got a good sample on it. It samples Brandy, I Wanna Be Down, and it got that New Orleans bounce, like authentic. But the fact that it got down in the sample, and how he stayed down with Mac while Mac was up the road, and how Mac was down. You know, like when you up the road, they say you laying down, you doing a bid, you down. But like the title of the song is Freedom, so it's like he stayed down till he came up. You know what I mean? So I mean it's a whole on a lot of levels. The beat I feel is a triple entendre, and the title of the song is very appropriate. And being that him and Mac have developed a powerful relationship through the years, especially during Mac's incarceration, Freedom is a very strong song in this album. Track number 12, Freedom. Track number 13, Paw Paw. If you follow D1 on Instagram, you see a lot of videos of his grandfather, and you know he's always kicking it with his grandfather. His grandfather like 86 years old. You know what I mean? And his grandfather is a wonderful personality, man. And you know, a lot of us were fortunate enough to have had our grandfathers in our lives. I'm one of those one who was fortunate enough to. And even though my grandfather passed the year before last, when I hear songs like this, I get a joy inside because I had a good relationship with my grandfather. So for anybody who has a good relationship with their grandfather, Paw Paw is a very wonderful track, man. Shout out to D1's grandfather, Paw Paw, too, man. He's a cool cat. I seen his videos on IG, man. One time for Paw Paw, man. Peace. 13, track number 13, Paw Paw. Very strong track right here. Very good love track. A very good ode to the grandfathers right here, man. Track number 14, Mamba Mentality, man. This man got a song dedicated to Kobe Bryant right here, talking about how, you know, that Mamba mentality. You know, they used to call Kobe Black Mamba, man. So it's like he on this track. It's a hard track, man. This is the type of track you listen to in the gym, or they could use this on a Kobe Bryant 30 for 30 on ESPN right here. You know, very strong track right here. Mamba Mentality, man. You know what I mean? It can't be on you. It gotta be in you. Track number 15, My Favorite Girl. One time for D1's grandmother. This song is a ode to his grandmother who passed recently. And I know she probably was a very important factor to the creation of this album, and it's probably one of the reasons why he called the album Finding Balance. D1, if you watch this video, tell me if I'm saying something right now. I think you know, he talks about on the intro about how loss of life in your experience, it makes you, you know, think about your own mortality. Think about mortality as a whole, and you realize you caught between this thing we call life and death. So it's like right here, My Favorite Girl, he's talking about how he celebrates the life of his grandmother, but at the same time he's distraught because she's no longer here in physical form, but she's still his favorite girl. A very wonderful track here, man. Very wonderful track here. And he ends the album with track number 16, Hi Mom. You ain't a real rapper if you ain't got a song to your mama. Tupac got a song about his mama. Biggie got songs about his mama. Kanye West got songs about his mama. Jay-Z got songs about his mama. Man, a rapper gotta have a song about his mama, telling his mama how much he love her. And he ends his album off with a song to his mama, telling his mama how much he love her and appreciate her for all that she's done for him and raising him the right way and making him be the amazing rapper that he is, man. And Hi Mom is a appropriate closing to a perfect album, man. I give this album a perfect score, man. You know what I mean? I give this album a perfect score, man. Shout out to D1. This is, at this point, this is February 15th. At this point, this is the best rap album that I've heard thus far in 2022, man. Thank you, D1, for a perfect album. And if you've watched this video, like I said at the beginning, like and subscribe. Go listen to the D1 album if you haven't. Go check out his other projects. If you have listened to this album, like I said, click like and subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned to more videos. I might be doing some more music reviews or whatnot. Thank you for watching. Peace.